Hello everybody, my name is Zach, aka the Weather Gamer, bringing you our PCF Draft Recap. We're recapping the draft. If you didn't catch the draft stream, link in the description down below for twitch.tv/the Weather Gamer. Follow that. That video will be up over there. Draft stream should be going live over here too. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. Still working on that. Anyways, we're going to kick it off. So for those of you that didn't see, I'm sorry Charizard X fans. Or Charizard fans, not Charizard X, because I'm not the Charizard X's anymore. I'm sorry, Charizard fans. I wanted to use the Charizards in this league, because I've already got the Bearticks and APA. I could not use them, however, because of the fact that there is the Charge Stone Charizards, who also use the Charizard X in their logo. So for simplicity's sake, since I'm the new coach and he's the returning coach, we're running Bearticks this season. If he leaves after this season, then we will go ahead and bring back the Charizards. Otherwise, I will look for another league at some point, not in the near future, not in the next like 3 or 4 weeks. Go check out my update video, you'll know why. But I will look for another league to get the Charizard X's back up and running. So for now, Charizard, or not X's, I'm not the Charizard X's, I dropped the X off of it on the Charizards. So Charizard fans, hang tight, cheer for the Bearticks while we're going. Try to get this rocking. So this league is not with my front office like APA is. I drafted this entire team myself. They aren't helping me build. I agree, at the time of draft, I was still in FWL, and I had agreed with my front office that I would only ever ask them to help me with 2 leagues at a time. So this league is kind of like LMC. It's me experimenting. It's me trying to take what Soup and Fizzle and Savage and Huff and Matthias and Torn have all taught me in team building and applying it forward so I can get better. So I don't have to rely on them all the time for when everyone has busy lives. So if they're busy, then I need to be able to build on my own. And right now, I can't confidently do that. So this is where I'm going to try and do some of that, take some practice, and learn. So we were the 14th pick in the draft out of 16. So we were on the wheel, but we weren't the wheel. There were 4 picks in between each one of mine. On the one side of the wheel, there were 4 picks in between each one of mine, so it was nice. I was able to make some pairs, but not great. My approach to this team was, let's bring back some stuff that I'm familiar with, some stuff that I'm good with, some stuff that I know how to do. I keep track of all my kills and deaths and league records and all that, just so I have statistics to go back and refer to. So I can see, like, hey, this Mon really wasn't a good fit for me, at least not in this league. Maybe try it out again. There are some Mons that I have learned I'm just not good with, like Garchomp. I'm good with Mega Garchomp. I am not good with Standard Garchomp. I don't know how that makes any sense, but that's just how it is. So, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I'm looking at these draft slides right now, and I just looked up at the address bar, and there's literally in the address bar the last 3 lines are 0_0. So it just looks like a wide-eyed face looking at me as I'm looking at these slides. But anyways, so because I have no front office, because I'm doing this on my own, I made a mix. I brought in Mons that I'm good with, that I know how to use, or that the front office has helped teach me how to use, mixed in with Mons that I don't use normally, but I'm wanting to try out so I can get better at it. So, first round, I wasn't sure if I was going to go Mega right off the bat or not. I wanted Mega Charizard X. If I couldn't have my logo, I was going to have my Mon. Mega Charizard X went 4 picks before me. I was so mad, so I was like, well, here we go. Celesteal is gone first overall, which I think was too high, and I mentioned that yesterday in the draft stream. Tapu Koko goes. You know, a lot of the stuff you expect to go first round goes first round. Unfortunately, Charizard X went too, so I couldn't take it. So instead, we go ahead and pop up with Zeraora. Yes, we have the Electric Cat returning for the Bearticks. Had him in WWC. Absolutely loved Zeraora. I struggled with it until the front office. I got my front office because I started my front office halfway through WWC when I was losing consistently and was just tired of losing and getting beat no matter what I did. So I put together the front office as a teaching tool for myself. And yeah, Zeraora really turned it around when they helped me. Zeraora is easily in my top 5 for Mons I'm good with at Draft League. It's super, super fast. It tops out at base 145 speed, I think. It's incredibly fast. Super, super offensive. Great attack, decent special attack, so it can be run, physical, or special. Good Mon all around. Little lacking in the defenses. It's got a great move pool. Good coverage. It has it has Ice Punch. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have Ice Punch. That's what I was gonna say. It does not get Ice Punch, and I don't know why. Zeraora got double screwed on its design. First of all, it's pure electric type. It should be electric fighting because it has such a huge fighting move pool. It needs to be electric fighting. If it has access to bulk up, close combat, focus blast, superpower, this thing should be a fighting type, and I don't know why Nintendo and Game Freak decided not to make it a fighting type. It also doesn't get Iron Fist, that's an ability. Ice Fist. Ice Punch. Ice Fist. Ice Punch. This thing needs Ice Punch really badly. It gets Fire Punch and Thunder Punch, but not Ice Punch. It just doesn't make sense to me, but it's got coverage out the wazoo. It's a good Z Captain. For this league, we get 3 Z Captains, no restrictions. This is one of my Z Captains. I cannot wait to catch somebody off guard like I did in WWC and bring like Dragon Z Outrage, because this thing gets Outrage, but it doesn't get Ice Punch. Whatever. Or I could run Steelium Z Iron Tail, because this thing does get Iron Tail. So yeah. Very fast, very offensive. I really like it. It's a good Mon. I've used it a bunch. Looking forward to using it again. And it will help me with the comfort level of this team of prepping on a weekly basis, because I know what this thing can do. Second round pick. Everybody knows I take this. Yes, Charizard Bearticks fans. Maybe. It's back. I have my Alolan Ninetales. I have never done a league without Alolan Ninetales except for DSL, which was a randomized league. So I didn't have a chance to use Ninetales. And my very first competitive league, which was IPA, which is run by SV Torn. It's not the actual IPA, like the big IPA league. It's just a IPA is the name on the league. I didn't have that one because that was my first ever thing, and I didn't know what Alolan Ninetales was at that point. Yes, everybody's going to accuse me of being like Dan and loving this thing too much. Sue me. I love Alolan Ninetales. I honestly think it's underrated. It's an incredibly good Mon. I think next to Mega Garchomp, it is my second best Mon that I've had success with using. It's just a beast. Like, Snow Warning is great because you get hail, so you can kind of weather control if you need to against a sand team, which is not ideal against a rain team. Which Alolan Ninetales with Freeze Dry does a lot to a rain team. Against a sun team, again, not ideal because ice weak to fire, but Alolan Ninetales with that, it gets hail up, so you can set Aurora Veil. You don't have to two-turn it, you can Aurora Veil with that. This thing is fast at positive speed nature. I believe it tops out at 348 speed, max speed, base 109. Very good special attacker. It does have access to priority and Ice Shard. It's great with an E-Belt. It's great with a Life Orb. It's great Scarfer, it's a great specs user. It's got great coverage because it has access to all the hidden powers. Being a special attacker, those are great for it. Dark Pulse, Freeze Shock, Freeze Dry, not Freeze Shock, that's Kiram's move. Blizzard, Moonblast, Dark Pulse, it has access to extra sensory to catch fighting types potentially. It's a really good mon. I really love it. If you want to see what this thing can do, go check out Dan, aka A-Drive. He puts work in with Alolan Ninetales consistently in his league matches, and that's why I love it. And it's also another mon that I know how to use. I love using this thing. And so, it's comfort. Zeraora Ninetales. Okay, well, that's 2 off of WWC right there. I feel good. So going into round 3, I wanted to start taking a Mega. I was starting to look at Megas, with Megazard going off the board. I was considering Mega B, and that would be hyper offense to the extreme in my mind, adding Mega B to this, plus some other picks I was planning on taking. Full disclosure, I had 0 defensive mons when I was planning this draft, like 0. I think Bronzong was my only... Bronzong and Ferrothorn potentially were the only 2 defensive mons I had on the original team I was planning to draft. Because I was going to take it to hyper offense to the max, because that's the playstyle I'm comfortable with, even though it's not the best playstyle to play. So I was looking at things like Mega Scissor, Mega Absol, Mega Latios. I don't think I was considering Mega Absol. No, it was Mega Scissor, Mega Latios. Picking up a Steel type or picking up a Dragon type. Working on that Fairy Steel Dragon Core, and both of those got taken. I wanted to try Mega Latios because I used regular Latios in WWC, and it worked out pretty well for me once I figured out how to use it. But with those going off the board, I was like, well, crap, what am I going to do? Do I draft Mega Beedrill then and just go hyper offense to the max? And I realized it was just such a terrible idea, because I mean, just look at FWL, Mega B and Victini and Ninetales, rocks everywhere, just destroy me. So I decided to bypass that, and instead got something to help protect Ninetales a little bit. Something I've never used before. We have Mega Blastoise with those big cannon coming out of his back. Mega Blastoise is a monster. It is defensive like a truck. It hits like a truck with its Mega Launcher ability, powering up Aura Sphere and Dark Pulse, Ice, or not Ice Pulse. There's no Ice Pulse. Dark Pulse, Aura Pulse, Dragon Pulse, Water Pulse. Pulse-based moves. That sort of thing. It gives it a boost. It's got huge special attack. I think it's 135 special attack, which is massive. It can rapid spin, so it's a good hazard controller too. It doesn't take a lot from rocks. It doesn't really take a lot from spikes as well. It does not appreciate T-spikes though. But this thing is just it's a literal tank, and it gives me some defensive balance for Ninetales and Zeraora, and it pairs pretty nicely with Zeraora, because Zeraora can sponge those electric hits with its Volt Absorb ability, leaving me really just weak to grass coverage. At this point in the draft, I'm weak to grass coverage with Blastoise. It can rapid spin, like I said, for hazard control, and it just hits super, super hard. So I'm really looking forward to using this one. Pairing with that, continuing to go on the defensive side, we grabbed Mandibuzz. So we've got Mandibuzz from FWL, we've got Ninetales and Zeraora from WWC/FWL/APA/ every league I'm in. I'm drafting Ninetales until somebody drafts it before I do. Anyways, we got Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz does not appreciate the rocks, but it is a non-grounded defog user, so spikes and T-spikes that Blastoise can handle but doesn't appreciate. It can handle with those. It can roost. It's got foul play. It can U-turn for pivot with Zeraora. Being able to pivot with Volt Switch, it gives me a little bit of a pivoting core there. Air Slash, foul play. And then on top of it, it is a defensive nightmare. Holy cow. I don't remember the exact numbers, and I'm going to pull up a new tab here so I can check it. I think it's like base 120 defense or something like that. Come on, computer. Oh no, I'm way underguessing. It's base 105 defense, base 110. It has big pecs to prevent defense if I wanted to run it offensively, weak armor to increase speed while dropping defense every time I get hit. But the key thing that I like about it is the fact that it has access to the ability Overcoat. So Overcoat is huge in allowing to not take hail damage from Ninetales. So this thing can come in, not take the hail damage, and freely defog if need be, and not have to worry about that chip from hail. It's also got knockoff. It can taunt, drop toxic. It's a really, really good mon. Plus having that foul play support is great because it stops like setup sweepers. They have to get, if they're physical setup sweepers, this thing with a Rocky Helmet punishes those physical hits and then foul plays them back to really put big damage, because foul, the way, I'm sure most of you know, but the way foul play works is it's not your attack that factors into it, it's your opponent. So if your opponent has a really high attack, it does a huge chunk of damage. So I love this thing in FWL. It was putting in work for me after the whole situation with it versus a Rhydon, where it managed to outlast a Dancing Dino and beat the Dancing Dino and help me win that game. I love Mandibuzz, and it's definitely a mon I'm going to keep my eye on for using, because I can either use it or I can use like Alolan Muck for a dark type. It gives me options for dark types that I'm comfortable with. So the next mon we took, unfortunately Ferrothorn got sniped at this point. I really wanted Ferrothorn to give me a grass type and to give me a steel type. Ferrothorn being able to set up Stealth Rock, Spikes itself, Leech Seed, and just be an overall nuisance and another defensive mon would have been great. Unfortunately, it was sniped at this point. So I went ahead and grabbed Silvally. Silvally is one of those mons I've wanted to try for a while. In WWC, I didn't know what it was. I wanted to try and draft it in FWL and missed. I was considering it in GPC, but I didn't get it because the Victini team grabbed it, even though that league didn't last long. But anyways, Silvally is another one of those mons that I've wanted to try. I kind of know what it can do. I've seen Chase, I've seen Dan, I've seen a few others use this thing, and I kind of have an idea, so it's something I'm semi-comfortable with once I figure out how to build with it. Another momentum mon with Parting Shot. Parting Shot with this is just really cool because it forces my opponent to basically switch, so I can get a free setup with Ninetales or something. Like Zeraora could get a free bulk up, Ninetales could get off Veil for free. It really fit well, being able to momentum with Parting Shot. Its ability, RKS system, so it can be any type. It forces your opponent to really think what type of Silvally are they going to bring. It's another defogger, so Mandibuzz doesn't have to have all the pressure of being the only defogger. This thing can come in, defog, not if it's like Silvally Steel, it's not going to care about rocks, or Silvally Grass doesn't care about rocks. It can come in, defog, Mandibuzz doesn't take a chunk. So it's another hazard remover, another pivot, and it's got coverage. I can build it for resistances if I need to. It's got coverage, being able to Multi-attack? I think is its attack. I think it's multi-attack. Yeah, multi-attack. So its type is whatever memory it's holding. So literally I have access to any sort of typing I need if I'm missing something, or like Ninetales doesn't have a good match. Okay, we'll bring Savali Fairy instead. So we aren't 4 times a week to steal. We could bring Savali Fairy and run it that way. That sort of thing. So, yeah. So, let's see. So Zeraora and Ninetales were one wheel. Blastoise and Mandibuzz were the next wheel. Savali here. Then the next Mon we grabbed, and pairing with this was, yes, Chandelure. I finally have Chandelure back. I have been trying so hard to get Chandelure on a team since WWC. I love Chandelure. Granted, the ghost types I've used, Gourgeist, not bad. Trevenant, awesome. I love Trevenant. It's a good ghost type. I like it, but I really, really prefer Chandelure. Chandelure is like my #1 ghost type Pokemon. It's so good. Has so much coverage. Like, an E-Belt on this thing is great. This is another one of my Z captains because it has access to so many Z moves. It has access to all the HPs, which are, again, like Ninetales, are great. It has Energy Ball to deal with water types that want to try and come in. It has Dark Pulse, Psychic, Fire type moves, Ghost type moves. Yes, it's on the slow side. It's got Flame Body, which is great because it can burn physical attackers that hit it. It's got Infiltrator to bypass subs on sub setups. It also has Flash Fire to absorb fire type hits. It's got a massive special attack stat at 145. It can set up with Sub Calm Mind. It could be a Scarfer. It can have Trick. It can Z Memento. It's a great Specs user. Just looking here. It does have access to Haze. Or not Haze, but Clear Smog. It does have Haze too. So Clear Smog, Haze. It can control, set up sweepers. I'm just looking through its moveset here to make sure I didn't miss anything major that I love talking about with it. Yeah, the Momentum set, Pain Split for recovery. Could run a Rest set. I could run Psych Up to steal my opponent's. So if my opponent's setting up in front of me, I could Psych Up and copy all of their stats. Has access to Shockwave. It does get Solar Beam. Most fire types do get Solar Beam. It can Taunt. Trick Room setter. So if I wanted to run Trick Room or reverse Trick Room, I do have it to reverse Trick Room if need be. It's a great mon, and I love it, and I'm so glad I have it. Going back to WWC, had I just put Energy Ball on this thing instead of Haze versus Spare Ample, I would have won that game and beaten the champion in the regular season. It's a great mon, and I'm so glad I have it. So moving into the next set of picks, I wanted to start looking at my dragon type. I need fighting, I need dragon, I need steel, I need bug, I need some of that stuff. I really wanted Komao, and Komao went like 4 or 5 picks right before I was ready to take it. So I had to change my plans. So what'd I do? Tyrantrum. Tyrantrum is one of my favorite mons for playthroughs. I've never used it in League format. I've just started seeing Dan use it in... What league is that? I don't know. I've seen Dan use it. It's got Strong Jaw, which boosts bite type moves. So the elemental fangs, crunch, that sort of thing. Or it's got rock head, which is another great ability. Prevents recoil damage from like head smash and that. Give it a life orb and you're only taking the life orb damage instead of the life orb and the head smash recoil. You can choice band it, you can scarf it, you can set up a D-Dance set. It's got good coverage. Currently it is my only rock setter, which is not good, and I needed to take care of that later in the draft. But this is another offensive powerhouse that I felt fit pretty nicely in with my core. I am building a very bad earthquake weakness, though. I have seen that happening. Pairing off with this, so because I lost Como, I picked up my dragon type here, but I still hadn't picked up my fighting type. So I went ahead and grabbed Buzzwall. Buzzwall is another mon I've never used before, but I have played against it, and I know it is incredibly annoying. The root, it's stupidly defensively bulky if it wants to be. With Roost and subsets, Buzzwall. Yeah, it's got base 107 HP, which is pretty good, but it's got base 139 defense. Like, it is stupidly defensive. Yes, its special attack and special defense are terrible, so special flying types will rip through it. But this thing is just a nightmare to deal with. It's super bulky, physically bulky, good recovery, resistance to fighting type, ground. It's not weak to rock, ghost, or steel. So it really just walls a crap ton of stuff. You can run the Toxic Roost set, leftovers. It's annoying, and I'm really glad that I have it this time. So I'm looking forward to using it. I've already got some ideas for it, and I think it fit pretty nicely as a Constellation fighting type after losing out on Como, and Lucario was gone at this point, and a few others that I was looking at. So coming back around, I wanted to get so I've got my Fairy Steel Dragon Core, I've got my Fairy and my Dragon, so I wanted to get my Steel type. And I was going to take Bronzong, because Bronzong, being a Levitate user, it gave me immunities to Earthquake. It was another rock setter. It could rapid spin itself, taking pressure off Blastoise, Mandibuzz, and Savali, the rock setter, so Tyrantrum doesn't have to run rocks. And the same person who took Ferrothorn decided they wanted to have Bronzong too. Why they needed two steel types, two slow steel types, two slow hazard setting steel types, I don't know. So losing that really messed me up. And at that point, my draft kind of went out the window, because I was not... My draft centered, at the end there, centered around having... Bronzong on the team, and I lost it. Why not go get Metagross? Levitate. I needed a Levitate user, because I'm very abused by Earthquake. I grabbed Registeel, another mon that's abused by Earthquake. However, Registeel is a very good mon in my mind. Looking forward to using it. It is stupidly defensive at base 150 defense and SPDEF. Like, yes, it's physical attack, it's special attack, it's HP. But it is stupidly bulky. Yes, it's slow, but you set up curses with this thing. It can Stealth Rock. It can Toxic T-Wave. It's just really good. It's a really good mon. It can fire off Earthquakes. It's got Iron Head. You could Magnet Rise to protect against the EQ. You could Rock Polish. Try to Rock Polish setup with this. I've seen Reggie... I think it was Reggie Ice I saw pull off a sweep by setting up a rock polish in APA. Might have been Reggie Steel or Reggie Rock. One of the Reggies pulled it off, so you can do that. It's got the stealth rocks. You can run a rust sleep talk set. It's a wall. It's a massive steel wall that I needed, and it helps Alolan Ninetales too because it takes those steel hits like no other from mons that try to abuse Alolan Ninetales, and it's immune to the poison type moves that people may try to send at Alolan Ninetales. And my music just stopped. There we go. So yeah, Registeel. Bulky Mon, another defensive core piece, and a Stealth Rock setter to take pressure off Tyrantrum. Still need that Levitate Mon, still need a Psychic type, need a Ground type. We're bringing Claydol back from APA. Haven't really found much use for him, but we do have him back. He's a Levitate user, he's a Stealth Rock setter. Pretty sure he's a Spike setter too, but I'm going to double check that. He can Rapid Spin. Claydol. He's stupidly slow. Not as slow as Registeel, but still stupidly slow. But yeah, that Levitate ability is great. So I'm not totally overrun. 120 Spadef is pretty good. 105 regular defense is good. Problem is its HP is terrible, as are its attack and its special attack. Yeah, it can Rapid Spin, it can Toxic, it can Stealth Rock, Earth Power, Psychic. It does have access to Ice Beam. So, like, if a Hydreigon wants to come in on it, it can't. It has access to Dazzling Gleam to deal with Dark types. Has Grass Knot. Let's see, Gyro Ball. I'm looking for it here. I'm pretty sure it doesn't get spikes, but I'm not sure. Not sure. No, it doesn't get spikes, so no spike setter. No big deal. I'm not one that really worries about hazards, like setting them up, tearing them down. I do worry about tearing them down when I have teams that are weak to them, like Alolan Ninetales and Chandelure don't appreciate it. But that's good because I have a lot of Defoggers and Rapid Spinners. But Claydol gives me another rocker, so Registeel and Tyrantrum both don't have to be the sole rockers. It's not great, my rockers, but it'll do. And we'll see what this thing can do. Finally, as you see on the screen, Venusaur. Grass and Poison were the last two typings I needed to fill out my cores. Venusaur gives me my Fire, Water, Grass core, and Venusaur, Blastoise, and Chandelure. Hey, had I had my Charizard X logo, I would have had the 3 Kanto starters. Or if I drafted Mega Zard X, instead of having it get taken in front of me, I would have had all 3. Venusaur is pretty good. It can run physical, it can run special, so you have to prep for it in 2 different cases. I just closed my cheat sheet window. It is a grounded poison type, so I can deal with T-Spikes that way. It's my only way to deal with T-Spikes from a grounded Mon standpoint, other than Registeel being immune to them. It can be used as a surprise weather setter, surprise weather control with Chlorophyll, Sunny Day, Z Sunny Day, Growth, Synthesis. It can be a Leech Seed annoying defensive set. It can be offensive with the Z Crystal. It is my 3rd and final Z user, so Zeraora, Chandelure, and Venusaur are my 3 Z Crystal users. And yeah, that's it. Basically, I needed a Grass and a Poison type, and so I was like, well, let's go grab Venusaur. I didn't want Victory Bell. Vileplume had been taken, so I couldn't grab Vileplume. Vileplume was actually my first bet, but it got taken, so I was like, well, we'll go Venusaur. That's the best bet. So that's going to be it, guys. That's our draft recap. Hopefully we can pick up some W's, get get ourselves rolling. I would like to not start the season out with a loss like I do every season of every draft league I'm in. My first match is always a loss. I'm excited. We got some familiar faces in Zera Aura, Ninetales, Shandy, Claydol, Mandibuzz, and then some new stuff that I'm really excited to try out, like the Blastoise and Savali, Tyrantrum, Buzzwole. I'm interested to see what Venusaur can do. Claydol is just Claydol. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Check out the links in the description down below. If I didn't post the draft stream to YouTube, then follow Twitter or Twitch, jump over there, watch it, drop a follow if you wouldn't mind. Trying really hard to reach that 50 follower mark. If you like the Beartix logo, go check out Griffin Feathers' Twitter down below. His commissions are open, so he is taking commissions now to do his stuff, very fairly priced. Definitely go check him out. If you need art, definitely check him out. I know he's made emotes for Dan. I'm not sure if he did Chase. Maybe he didn't do Dan either. I'm not sure. I know he's made emotes for famous Twitch streamers such as Deathly I Am for sure. I think he's done some for Dan. I believe he's done some for Chase. Not 100% certain on that one. He's done my emotes. I'm not famous though. But yeah, definitely go check him out. He's a good dude. If you want to hang out with me outside of these videos, definitely check out the Discord. It's always fun. It's a giant family. There's always something for somebody in there. And if not, we'll make something for you. With that, I will catch you guys in the next one. See you guys later.